Local service advertisers, LSAs, are officially moving into Google Ads. So if you're running local service ads, definitely keep watching because I'm going to be just breaking down the update and what you need to be aware of. Because there's a lot of changes here that could definitely be impacting your performance as well as your budget. So let's go ahead and dive in. So I'm going to give you guys the top line executive summary, and then I'm going to take you into the specific help article announcement from Google Ads. So local service ads are being migrated into Google Ads as it's called a Performance Max pay per lead campaign. It's a very long name, but I'm just going to call it PMax LSA just so that it's easy to say and understand, but it's going to be called a PMax Performance Max pay per lead campaign once it's migrated over. This rollout is going to happen starting in August and will continue through 2027. So this announcement was actually made at the end of July. That's when I'm filming this video of 2026, and it's going to start rolling out as early as next month or in a few days, because right now it's pretty much the end of July. So here are some notable upcoming changes that you need to be aware of with this update. So no longer will you have to manage LSAs within a completely separate platform dashboard. That was really annoying, having to log into a completely different dashboard, and the way that things were set up. It's set up on where you set up weekly budgets. You can't see your ad spend in one tab. You can't see your leads in the other. So then you have to put everything together. It doesn't calculate the cost per lead. So in that sense, I'm actually happy that it's all being moved under one unified place, and it'll be easier to look at the data. I'm sure that that's probably a big annoyance to a lot of other advertisers as well. But now it's all being rolled into Google Ads. Billing will remain on a pay per lead basis, not a pay per click. So that is something that won't change. And LSAs will continue to show only on search and maps, along with another update is the standalone LSA dashboard will eventually retire, and it will retire when the migration is fully complete. So once the ads are the campaigns are migrated over, you will not be able to log into your LSA dashboard. So all the historical performance reports will not migrate. If there's any really important data in there, then make sure that you save it so that you can refer back to it. But you will not be able to access that once the migration is fully complete. Other big updates, and this is actually a really sad update in that ties into this, manual bidding is going away in favor of campaign level target CPA. So you will not be able to have the ability to manually bid for local service ads, and then you will not also be able to do vertical level target CPA, only campaign level target CPA. I'll talk a little bit more in detail as I take you guys through the article, but here's what you need to know as a TLDR update. So for agencies and businesses managing LSAs, this migration is definitely worth preparing for, not only because the interface is changing, but because campaign management workflows, bidding, reporting, and budgeting are also changing as well. So if you're running local service ads, now is a good time to start reviewing your account structure and make sure that you back up any historical reporting before Google migrates your account. So I will also drop this article in the description for you guys to check out, but this pretty much details everything that I just outlined with the big update here. I think something that I want to spend a little bit of time on is, what's not changing. So yes, it's going to still be a pay-per-lead model. It's still going to be focused on high-intent customer connections. It's going to still be keywordless. It's still going to serve on Google Search and Maps. And then what's actually changing is it's going to be a new home for local service ads, bidding and budget adjustments. Now you will only be able to, well, now they're going to be removing the manual bidding option, and then industry level target CPA. You will still be able to do campaign level CPA. I'm assuming that you'll still be able to do maximize conversions as a bidding strategy. But please review your bidding and budget adjustments right now, actually, if you want, or right after this video. Make sure that you prepare for this bidding strategy change. And the other big update is the self-service campaign changes. You'll get greater control over your local service campaigns, in which you can, edit the phone number to which your call and message leads are being routed to in real time. And Google Business Profile migration is going to, integration is going to happen. So Google Ads will pre-populate your campaign setup using details from your GBP to make the setup easier. So your business name, address, hours will sync in one direction from your Google Business Profile. Make sure that all the data in your Google Business Profile is accurate. I'm assuming it is if you've been running LSAs for some time, but please double check that as well. I don't think that this matters too much to you, but if you were using the BBB callout, that's going to be deprecated pretty soon. And this is going to be really important for all local service advertisers to be aware of. And this is the migration timeline. So when is it happening? It's going to happen as early as August 2026. And I'm filming this video at the end of July. So it could be happening as early as a week, pretty much. And it's going to be mainly targeting these niches. So if you're in plumbing, HVAC, electrical, appliance repair, house cleaning, lawn care, roofing, pest control, and moving, your niche is going to be prioritized for this move. That's most likely going to be happening as early as August. It could happen in September. It could happen in October. But just be aware that if you're in any of these niches, it's going to happen pretty soon. And then in late 2026, this migration will expand to broader advertising groups, including service area businesses without physical storefronts, accounts with custom bidding or booking configurations. And in 2027, any non-US accounts and all remaining business categories in the US are going to be, that were not migrated in 2026, will eventually transition into Google Ads. So what should you expect during the migration? If you are an account admin, you will get an advance notification 14 days before the migration date, along with warning banners inside your current dashboard. This should not be a surprise to you if you consistently check in on your performance data. So a final reminder email is sent 7 days later after the initial email alert. And then the account admin will also receive another email once a migration is successfully completed. So automatic settings will transfer. So the system will automatically transfer your entire campaign to Google Ads. So the targeted location, service types, business categories, budget limits, ad schedule, and business photos will move over seamlessly without requiring your manual input. But I would still suggest that you double check on all of these settings once you get the email notification that it's been successfully migrated, because I've seen a lot of issues with migrations, and sometimes certain locations, certain service types, certain things will not be migrated due to a system error. And then the local service ads dashboard will not be able to be accessed after the migration. So make sure you save whatever data that you need from your LSA dashboard, and your verification status will carry over. So you will not need to redo any verification, luckily. And the ads will start running right away. So allow up to 2 weeks for the migration process to fully complete and for your campaign performance to ramp back to stable levels. And then let's talk about a little bit about the bidding and budget adjustments, because I think that this is super, super, super important. And this is probably one of the bigger changes that you need to be aware of. And if you're not paying attention, this is actually a really fast way for Google to drain your budget. So, local service ads, the way that the budgeting was done was on a weekly basis. In Google Ads, it's on a daily basis. So now that it's migrating into Google Ads, it's going to change it into a daily budget. It's going to take your weekly budget that you have within LSAs and divide that by 7 to determine your average daily budget. And if you were used to LSAs not exceeding your weekly budget, just be aware now that it's migrating over to Google Ads, there is a specific nuance within Google Ads that says that any campaign can spend up to 2 times its average daily budget, but no more than your average daily budget multiplied by 30.4. So definitely watch out for that, because what I think is going to happen is that Google is going to start overspending, and while it will not exceed your daily budget multiplied by 30.4, it can definitely rack up the ad spend so that you could potentially spend your budget much faster than you would really want to. Some other things here is deprecation of manual bidding. So manual bidding is going to be going away, and will no longer be supported in this, I'm going to call it PMAX LSA campaign. And then deprecation of vertical level target CPA as well. So here's some other things that it mentioned in the update in regards to managing your campaigns. I'll go ahead and make sure that this is in the description for you guys to read and check out. But that's pretty much the big update that I have here that was just announced. That's all the information I was provided. In my personal opinion, I think that the migration is a good thing, because now everything is housed under one unified place. The only bad thing about this is that we're going to lose that manual bidding ability. So, and then also, if you're not paying attention, the budgeting could, if you're not paying attention to the budget, that could have an impact on, how much you spend too. So please double check that. I'm also curious to know, now that it's going to be called a Performance Max campaign with pay per lead goals, are we going to be able to see search terms for LSAs? Are we going to be able to add negatives for LSAs? Because that would be very nice, because a lot of LSAs can serve on competitor terms, and a lot of you get a lot of competitor phone calls, but yeah, I'd be very curious to see kind of how this all plays out. Then again, it's on a pay per lead basis, although now you can't dispute leads, and this is something that has been in effect for a year or 2 years at this point. So I'm curious to know, are we going to be able to have any specific reporting and insight that we weren't able to get with LSAs? Because LSAs is really a stripped down version of a search campaign that you can't really do a ton to optimize. So I'd be curious to know if we're going to be getting more data, but I'm not going to be banking on it. I'm pretty sure we're not going to get much from this besides just everything unified in one platform. So if you found this video helpful, I'd love it if you can give it a thumbs up, subscribe to this channel if you found any of this information helpful, and like this video, subscribe, and I look forward to connecting with you guys in the next one.